All your life, you've been fed a lie. Women kept convincing you, persuading you, swearing that they only wanted kind, loyal, reliable men. But then, you'd see those same women holding hands, disappearing into the dark corners of nightclubs, with men nothing like that. Why? Why do women publicly claim they want kindness, yet fall for men who are openly cruel, cynical, even manipulative? Because when it comes to choosing a partner, a woman forgets everything she said yesterday. She stops thinking and starts reacting. Her choices are not driven by logic, but by the raw mechanics of biology, buried triggers, and emotional wounds. When a woman starts telling you fairy tales about wanting a good man, a gentleman, a prince, don't argue. Just ask her one question. Who was the man you loved the most? The one you suffered for? The one you couldn't forget? Because that's the truth. That's the man she actually wants. Most women you know are like this. The first wastes months chasing a man who treats her like she doesn't exist. The second falls hopelessly for someone who sleeps with her best friend. And the third? She spends years haunted by the one who vanished without a word. No reason, no goodbye, just cold silence. See, when women say they want kindness, loyalty, or warmth, they're not lying. They truly believe it. But belief and desire live in different worlds. Ask her, then why do you keep choosing the opposite? She'll shrug, look away, and whisper, I don't know, it just happened. As if attraction were a force beyond her control. That's why there's no point in asking a woman what kind of man she wants. She'll only describe what sounds right, not what truly sets her on fire. We both know the truth. A good man is almost always boring. So let me ask the women who claim they want one. Are you really ready for boredom? Silence at dinner. Predictability. Stability that feels like still water. Safe, but motionless. Most won't admit it, but the answer is no. They crave turbulence, not peace. Because saying you want a good man sounds noble, but admitting you're drawn to the darkness feels shameful. So she hides it. She plays the part society expects, choosing reason with her words and chaos with her heart. And that's the eternal split. Parents and culture demand she choose wisely, but her instincts demand the thrill of the fall. And later, she tells her friend, I can't forget him. I think about him every day. I need to talk about it with my therapist. It's a common story, but it hides one brutal truth. The less you care about her, the louder she screams to her friends, he's mine. Every guy has seen it. You can chase her for months, but she'll fall for the one who leaves her messages unread, the one whose photos she likes again and again without ever getting a reply. When the caring guy texts her every morning, Good morning, sunshine. How did you sleep? She replies dryly, Fine. No spark, no emotion, just politeness. But when a man with chaos in his eyes disappears for 24 hours, she starts pacing the room, calls her friend and says, Lucy, there's something between us. I can feel this strange energy. For most women, love isn't a conscious choice. It's a dopamine-oxytocin reaction, a chemical storm that confuses pain for passion. She can write, looking for a caring, respectful man 100 times in her profile, but end up obsessed with someone who humiliates her, ignores her, or breaks her down piece by piece. And yes, a few women are honest enough to admit it. I love him because he doesn't love me. But most will keep lying to themselves until their last breath. They tell themselves they've grown wiser, more conscious, more evolved. But then, one moment of impulse, and she's back on a motorbike, arms wrapped around a man named Greg, who reeks of cheap whiskey and rebellion. No helmet, no logic, just thrill. Because every woman who complains about men has to face one hard truth. She's pushed away the one who was stable, ignored the one who was loyal, and lost the one who wanted to build a family with her. And those men were real. They existed. It's the same old pattern. She'll defend a scumbag with her last breath and devalue a good man without hesitation. She looks for flaws in diamonds and searches for gold in the mud. I've seen it countless times. A woman standing between a thug and a gentleman, and every time she chooses the thug. And thug isn't just about tracksuits. It's a mindset, a way of being, And it all makes sense if you look deeper. For hundreds of thousands of years, arrogance, boldness, and aggression were survival tools. The ones who struck first took what they wanted and protected what was theirs. Those men lived. That instinct never disappeared, even with iPhones and almond lattes. The female brain still seeks the man who doesn't hesitate, who doesn't question himself, who acts without overthinking. A good man, an intelligent man, is always reflecting. He questions himself. He wonders if he did the right thing, if he said too much, if he hurt someone without meaning to. For him, conscience is strength. But to the female brain, that hesitation looks like weakness. He analyzes her emotions, tries to understand her reactions, tries to do what's right. And all she feels is that something's missing. That raw, unfiltered dominance her instincts still crave. When a woman says she wants a man who's kind and understanding, those words come from her prefrontal cortex, the logical part of her brain. But desire doesn't live there. Desire is born in the limbic system, where logic doesn't exist. That's the contradiction, and that's why so many good men lose. Because in the marketplace of love, the rational ones are discarded. They're too calm, too stable, too safe. While the unstable, the bold, the reckless, they stay in demand. Women fall for them. They fascinate, they attract, they pull attention like a magnet. The unhinged ones, the unpredictable, the broken. While the calm, decent, self-controlled men stand quietly in the shadows, forgotten. This pattern repeats everywhere. You see it in stories, in friend groups, in every corner of life. Women drawn to chaos again and again. Most of them aren't foolish. Some hold multiple degrees, others speak languages, build careers, carry beauty that turns heads, yet they fall for men who offer nothing but pain. It's never about logic, never about reason. It's about something buried, trauma that feels like passion. The man's cruelty reactivates old wounds, and that pain turns into obsession. What's most disturbing isn't that she stays, but that she wants to go back. Back to the one who broke her, as if pain itself became her home. Look around, and you'll see the same story almost everywhere. Men give everything for their families. They sacrifice, they build, they stay loyal. And still, their women say, "It's not enough. I'm leaving." Meanwhile, countless women chase the very men who destroy them, the ones who humiliate, ignore, and betray them. They whisper to their friends, "I know he's bad for me, but I can't stop." That's the paradox. A woman's attraction has little to do with a man's decency. The calmer and more stable he is, the less likely she is to feel addicted to him. You can be flawless, kind, loyal, and consistent, but emotional balance rarely creates obsession, because you won't do what the broken ones do. You won't play games. You won't disappear to prove control. You won't cross boundaries just to feel dominant. A man with conscience won't act that way, but those without one, they can. And to the female mind, that recklessness looks like power. Let's talk about men for a moment. A man's behavior in relationships often depends on one thing: his serotonin levels. When serotonin is low, you get the womanizer, the street thug, the so-called pickup artist. Men like that feel little connection to others. Empathy barely exists for them. They don't value bonds or promises. They live in the moment and couldn't care less about how their actions affect anyone else. They're difficult, almost impossible to manipulate. Why? Because they simply don't care. They don't fear losing anyone. They don't feel guilt, and they crave no stability. They can cut ties overnight and sleep like babies. To the female brain, this coldness looks like strength. That indifference feels like dominance, but it's not real power. It's emptiness. It's like when a drunk fool on the street says, "Come on, let's fight." He's not brave. He just has nothing to lose. You, on the other hand, think twice, because someone's waiting for you at home. He reacts from chaos. You act from responsibility. But in her eyes, his recklessness looks like confidence, and your calm looks like weakness. But when a man's serotonin is high, it's a different story. He feels deeply. He cares about what the woman thinks, what she feels, how she reacts. He's easy to guilt, easy to pressure, because he fears the end of the relationship. For him, loss feels like collapse. These are the reliable ones, the men who stay, who build, who protect. But to many women, that stability feels flat. No chaos, no thrill, no emotional roller coaster to feed the addiction. A balanced man doesn't bring the anxiety that her brain confuses with love. He doesn't trigger that primal rush of dopamine that chaos creates. And because of that, her body doesn't label him as desirable. Here lies the paradox. The more emotionally healthy a man is, the less likely he is to win a damaged woman's heart. He'll always lose to the one who doesn't ask permission to be masculine, the one who acts without thinking, without guilt, without reflection. The kind of man who's not afraid to be hated. But that same man, he can't build anything real. Not love, not family, not even friendship. I want to speak now to those men who've started erasing their humanity just to seem attractive. Listen carefully. What you're doing might work for a while. You might get attention, even admiration, but you're not becoming stronger. You're becoming hollow. You're not an alpha. You're just pretending to be one, by switching off empathy and calling it power. You've mistaken numbness for masculinity. You've traded depth for noise. You've fallen back into the animal stage, where manhood is measured by muscle, arrogance, and body count. That's not dominance, it's decay. And yes, some women chase that illusion. They're told by female coaches, don't be too soft, be a little cruel. It might get them gifts, passion, excitement, for a season, but seasons end, and when the thrill fades, all that's left is emptiness. Because this game isn't built to last, it's a nomad strategy. Take what you can, disappear, move on. No roots, no growth, no legacy. The alpha image you see online is just that, an image. Looks powerful in stories, useless in reality. These men never struggle with women because they don't have relationships. They drift, one bed to another, one ego trip to the next. And the same night they record a video about female nature, they sleep alone. That's not power. That's a costume for men afraid of truth. So, when a woman says she wants a kind man, test it. Ask her to name the last kind man she suffered for, the one she couldn't forget, the one who made her heart race. Then wait. You'll hear silence, because she never loved him. That question alone exposes the truth. It dismantles almost every illusion on the spot. 99% of women can't answer it, and that's why you should never take her words at face value. Many men dream of being good, but still want to be desired like the bad ones. That combination doesn't exist. While you're thinking of the perfect reply, the so-called psychopath already has her number and is taking her for a ride on his bike, not because he's stronger, but because he simply doesn't care. That apathy looks like dominance, and dominance feels like attraction. You can't fake it. It's not a script you can learn. I've heard so many women say, "Oh, I was young, I was stupid." No. When you loved him, you were real. You only started lying to yourself later, when you convinced yourself that it would never happen again. You want to know why I made this video? Because most good men are nothing more than a pause, a short stop between two disasters. She's broken by one man, uses another to recover, and is already walking toward the next who will destroy her again. When you sit across from her on that first date, everything is already written. You're not her new beginning, you're her recovery phase. Some say that after toxic love, a woman looks for peace for a while. Maybe. Like jumping from ice into fire, from pain into calm. But peace doesn't last. She gets bored of balance. Normality feels empty. So she acts stable, answers correctly, looks conscious and mature. But her past always gives her away. And if you don't study it, you'll end up another chapter in the same story. I've seen it too often. A husband wonders why his loyal wife suddenly cheats, until you look at her past and find chaos. The same pattern repeating. She can build a home, have children, smile like everything's perfect. Then one day, something inside her snaps, and she breaks it all, just to feel alive again. Think about it. With the amount of likes, messages, and attention an average woman gets, she could find a decent man in a single month if she really wanted to. But she doesn't. Half a year passes, a full year, and still, no good one. Why? Because she's not looking for peace. She's chasing a storm. She wants a man who'll yell in the morning and talk about spirituality at night. A man who'll grab her without asking, then ask, "Are you okay?" A bad boy with a conscience. But that creature doesn't exist, and yet she'll keep waiting, because believing in this fantasy helps her avoid growing up. Accepting reality would hurt too much. So she keeps hoping for a miracle that will never come. And one day, she'll have to face the truth. She's not searching for love. She's searching for a monster with a soul. I've heard the same story 100 times. She's smart, beautiful, successful, and still can't meet the right man. Nonsense. There's a line of men waiting for her. The issue isn't that she can't find one, it's that she won't. A man might struggle to find a woman because he gets 3 likes a week. She gets hundreds every day, so many that she doesn't even know who to reply to. And from that endless line, she'll still say, "None of them are right." The truth? They are. She just doesn't want what's right. Most men want the same answers. They search for them in silence, in the ruins of failed relationships, in the eyes of women they could never understand. The first question is, can women truly be drawn to kind men? Here's the truth. Kindness is moral. Attraction is chemical. Falling in love because someone is good happens only in fiction. A woman can choose a kind man, yes, but she won't desire him for that kindness. It's not what awakens her hunger. So, are good men doomed to suffer? Only when they keep choosing those who can't see worth. The blind will betray, abandon, and crawl back to men who have nothing to offer but chaos. And when she says she's changed, question it. Real change is rare. Words are cheap. Can a man be good and still never dull? Yes, if he leads instead of pleases, protects his principles instead of begging for peace. Why do women keep chasing the wrong ones? For the same reason people drink poison for the thrill. Pleasure always beats logic. Can she love a calm man after a toxic one? Sometimes, but only until the calm starts to feel like emptiness. Then she'll seek fire again. Many wonder, how can a man prove he's strong yet kind? He can't, not with words, only through silence, distance, and control. And to those who are tired of being good but refuse to become cruel, you're not hurt because you're kind. You're hurt because you're naive. Keep your goodness. Kill the illusion. Will women ever stop falling for the broken? Perhaps. When desire burns out and nothing remains but stillness. But don't count on it. And those who envy the heartless, don't. They attract only emptiness. Their reward isn't love, it's loneliness. The so-called alpha isn't strong. He's hollow. A man playing God while living like a ghost. In the end, it's simple. The world doesn't punish good men. It just tests who can stay pure without being blind. Because in a time where weakness wears confidence as disguise, clarity becomes rebellion. And the man who sees through illusion is the only one still awake.